Question number 8, and name is Deputy Clare Daly.
The Government has set out an ambitious public service reform plan that aims to transform the quality and cost effectiveness of public services in Ireland. As part of that plan, we are undertaking a steady and managed reduction in public service numbers. There is not a wholesale embargo on recruitment. Indeed, there is quite significant recruitment in targeted areas such as health and education. Quite sensibly, the Government is taking a measured and prudent approach to mitigate the potential disadvantage of reducing staff levels. To this end, the numbers reduction policy takes account of priority areas by allowing for replacement of key staff, especially in the education and health areas, as I've indicated. It gives sectoral and local management direction in exactly how staff resources are allocated within an area, provides a framework for redeployment of staff across the public service, and includes introducing new streamlined services, such as I've already indicated to the House, shared services, which allow functions to be maintained and indeed enhanced with reduced staff levels and at lower cost. Reform of the public service is necessary, both because we need to reduce costs given our serious fiscal position, and because the quality of public services for the citizens needs to be continually improved and value for money for the taxpayer needs to be protected. The Government's reform plan is comprehensive and ambitious. It captures a wide range of reform projects, including ICT infrastructure projects to support enhanced automation, better online services, etc. Change management projects to support more effective work practices, redeployment, rostering and manpower issues, and organisational structuring involving mergers of previously separate state bodies and of divisions and work areas within organisations. These reform projects will allow the public service to function more effectively and more efficiently and more cost-effectively over the medium term. Crucially, they are facilitating the delivery of services while making the numbers reductions that I've indicated to the House.
Deputy Daly.
Thanks, Ceann Comhairle. Minister, you've given the impression that the system is quite flexible and that there isn't an outright ban there, that services can be delivered. And I just maybe want to give you one example that maybe you could assist me in illuminating whether this scenario can be provided for. You've said that areas like education and health are prioritised. Does this mean that issues like the local authority are prevented from recruiting people? I'll just give an example from my own area. We have the local authority, Fingal County Council, having to reduce library hours by massive quantity because they need to open a new library in Donabate on the one hand, and on the other hand, a number of librarians have retired. So the net impact of that is that the local authority has said that they can't open the new facility unless they cut hours in all of the surrounding ones. And you have a vital community service. If you take the area of Rush, there's only just over 9,000 people there in the census, and over 6,500 of them are members of the library. 400 events there last year, and their hours are being slashed. Now, your own colleagues, fair play to them, on Fingal County Council took the unusual step of directing the county manager to overturn this decision to reduce library hours. But to do that, they need 12 extra librarians to keep it open. Now, what can your department do? Or is it the case that those 12 people could be recruited, or are they being prevented from being recruited? And if you could answer that, I think it would be enormously helpful to the people in the area and to illuminate the overall situation.
Well, obviously I can't answer a particular question like that because I can't micromanage the 300,000 employees across all the state agencies, the local government sector, each government department. There is an employment control framework, so there is flexibility within the framework devolved within councils, for example, or within departments. But I don't want to pretend that there isn't a pressure. There is a pressure, because we are reducing numbers, because we have to reduce the pay bill. But there is no compulsory redundancies, and we've maintained that to date. There will be services that will be impacted upon. I don't want to pretend that that is not a fact either, because we're in an economic crisis. And unfortunately, we can't afford all the services I'd love to be able to provide. So I'm not in a position to talk in terms of the local library you talked about. I must say that it's a service, the library service itself, that I think is a flagship for the state. It's something, when I was a member of Wexford County Council, it's the only committee I wanted to be a member of, because I think libraries are hugely important in the community. So on foot of the discussion, I'll certainly ask my own department to contact Fingal in terms of this, but I can't give any succour or support to the Deputy in terms of what flexibilities might be available.
I suppose issue is I know you don't know the details, but theoretically, is there anything to stop the local authority from taking on 12 people? There is no ban in place, or is there a ban in place stopping them from recruiting 12 people? You're saying it has to be done within a cost framework and all the rest, but assume the savings were made elsewhere. Theoretically, could the embargo be lifted then to provide, it's a skill, a librarian is a particular skill, in order to keep the facility open they need. Is there anything blocking that if the savings could be found elsewhere? I've loads of issues and problems with the bigger picture, but I'd just like an answer on that local example for now.
Well, I mean, I'm really at two removes from this. Number one, it's the local authority, and number two, it's the Department of Environment and Local Government that has direct responsibility. But there is an employment control framework, as I said. So there is a fixed number of there's a headcount number that they're not allowed to exceed. But there is flexibilities within that, but I don't know the details and what flexibilities that might be applied at local level. You might talk to the Ministry for Environment in relation to it, but as I said, I will ask my own department to make contact with Fingal to see if there's an issue in relation to that.
Thank you. Question number 9.